Why hasn't the Sagrada Familia been completed even after 100 years? Many famous buildings in history have experienced lengthy construction periods. For example, Cologne Cathedral took 600 years, the Florence Cathedral took 200 years, Pisa Cathedral took 221 years, and China's Moguro Caves at Dunhuang took over 900 years to reach their current scale. Today, there is a church whose construction has already spanned over 100 years, and the most optimistic estimates predict its completion by 2026, while more conservative estimates suggest it might not be finished until 2050. Some may argue that this construction time isn't the longest, but it's essential to realize that this is a contemporary building. With today's advanced technology and our modern emphasis on efficiency, people generally lack the patience to wait for a building to take centuries to complete. However, this church has a unique charm that keeps people eagerly anticipating its completion without losing patience. This church is the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, Spain. The Sagrada Familia requires such an extended construction period because of its perfectionist designer, Antoni Gaudí. Gaudí had a passion for architecture from a young age. During his lifetime, the king issued a decree to comprehensively renovate Barcelona, and Gaudí, born to a humble family, naturally chose to enter architecture school. However, Gaudí did not like to follow in others' footsteps. He preferred to dialogue with nature. He was a solitary figure, preferring to observe with his own eyes and think with his own mind. When he graduated, the head of the architecture school remarked, "I don't know if we have given this diploma to a genius or a madman." Gaudí was eccentric and had no friends, interacting only with two students. He always had a somber appearance, with a full beard and shabby clothes, looking more like a destitute beggar than a designer. Fortunately, Gaudí met his confidant, Eusebi Gell, who introduced him to Barcelona's high society. Many elites commissioned Gaudí to design their villas and mansions, and he quickly became famous. At just 31, he was appointed as the designer of the Sagrada Familia. Gaudí had an extraordinary fascination with curves, famously saying, "The straight line belongs to humans, the curved line belongs to God." Thus, the Sagrada Familia is composed entirely of spirals, cones, parabolas, and hyperbolas. Its towering spires appear both majestic and eerie. Yet, when the people of Barcelona saw Gaudí's design, they were passionately enamored and eagerly anticipated the church's completion. In their eyes, Gaudí became a hero. The Sagrada Familia is a magnificent Catholic church inspired by natural elements such as caves, mountains, plants, and animals. When decorating the church's interior, Gaudí incorporated stories from the Bible, using real-life models to make the sculptures lifelike. For instance, to depict King Herod's massacre of infants, he made plaster models of dead babies, hanging them from the studio ceiling, which frightened the workers. Gaudí dedicated over 40 years to constructing the Sagrada Familia. By his later years, he knew he wouldn't live to see its completion. Despite this, he spent the last 12 years of his life focused solely on the church's construction, abandoning all other work. On June 10, 1926, Barcelona's trams began running. On that day, Gaudí was struck by a speeding tram and died shortly after being taken to the hospital. People barely recognized him due to his modest appearance. When an old lady realized he was Barcelona's greatest architect, the entire country was engulfed in grief. Although Gaudí did not live to see the church's completion, people continue to